August 1977. In a quiet field in Ohio, a massive wire-frame structure called the Big Ear radio telescope methodically sweeps the night sky. Its daily job is routine radio astronomy, recording the chaotic, random static of deep space, the ambient hiss of dead stars, galaxies, and background radiation. But on one Tuesday night, that routine was interrupted. A perfectly clean transmission sliced through the cosmic static. The event held for exactly 72 seconds of continuous, flawless reception, and then, without warning, it vanished. Space is filled with electromagnetic noise, but it is almost entirely random. The brevity and sudden disappearance of this signal marked it as an event that defied standard astronomical behavior. Days later, a researcher sat down with the raw computer printouts to examine the telescope's logs. In a column of background noise, he found a highly specific sequence of characters, 6EQUJ5. This chart shows what those characters actually represent. Plotting the alphanumeric sequence on the horizontal axis against the signal's intensity on the vertical, we see a perfect symmetrical bell curve. Natural space static is erratic. It does not smoothly ramp up to a defined peak and ramp perfectly back down. This undeniable mathematical structure forced scientists to look past the possibility of a simple equipment glitch. They began a forensic investigation into the source of the broadcast. The investigation centered on the specific properties of the transmission, starting with the exact frequency it arrived on. The signal arrived at precisely 1420 megahertz. In astrophysics, this is known as the hydrogen line. This diagram illustrates why 1420 megahertz is significant. It is the frequency emitted by neutral hydrogen. As the most abundant element in the universe, scientists have long proposed that any civilization attempting to be heard would use this specific frequency as a universal hello. Researchers then identified the signal's precise origin point, a specific pocket of the Sagittarius constellation. Sagittarius is a dense cluster of ancient stars, making it a primary candidate for solar systems much older than our own. The convergence of a universal frequency and a star-rich origin point gave researchers a technical basis to treat this data as a potential message from an extraterrestrial source. Before reaching that conclusion, scientists had to systematically eliminate every possible earthly and natural cause. They first looked at secret military satellites and terrestrial radar bouncing off space debris. These were ruled out. Broadcasting on the 1420 MHz hydrogen frequency is strictly prohibited by international treaty to protect astronomical research, making human interference unlikely. They then considered natural cosmic events, such as pulsars, quasars, or comet gas clouds. Natural phenomena emit energy across wide bandwidths. They do not turn on and off in a clean 72-second window on such a narrow, precise frequency. By ruling out human technology and known natural space phenomena, the forensic evidence pointed toward an artificial source from deep space. In the immediate aftermath, a global scientific effort began to recapture the signal. Observatories pointed vastly more powerful telescopes directly back at those exact coordinates in Sagittarius. They scanned that patch of sky for days, then months, then decades. The signal never repeated. The listening arrays recorded nothing but silence. The lack of a second transmission leaves the wow signal as an unrepeatable, perfectly documented event, an unsolvable mystery in the history of astronomy. After decades of silence, researchers have focused on one specific theory. They propose the transmission was a targeted beacon. Like a beam from a cosmic lighthouse, it may have swept past Earth momentarily before continuing its rotation into the dark. Given the scale of the universe, the odds that the telescope was looking exactly there for those precise 72 seconds were incredibly small. If the wow signal was a brief encounter with a rotating beacon, it suggests we may have heard a message from the stars. But if it ever sweeps past us again, we might not be looking in the right direction to see it.